listen in.
We're very, very mindful of that. And the team is working extremely hard to get it opened as quickly as possible. So I do want to be clear, fully opening Highway 2 is going to take time, a long time. And we're still evaluating the full extent of the damage. Repairs like this, as you might imagine, are heavily dependent on the weather, and the weather this time of year obviously is not ideal. Some repairs will need to wait for the snow to clear in the mountains. We understand, though, that access, even if limited access, is extremely important. So we have good news to share in that regard. Starting on Monday, this coming Monday, at 6 a.m., we will begin a limited reopening of a section of State Route 2 from the east. So in other words, from Leavenworth, between Coles Corner and Stevens Pass. So that's basically between milepost 85 and 64. It's about a 20-mile stretch. So this limited reopening will allow individuals starting Monday morning from Leavenworth to access Stevens Pass. And Stevens Pass can open for skiing, which is also extremely good news. To do this, we'll be using a pilot car near the summit for about the last 7 or 8 miles as you're heading from Leavenworth to the summit. When you get about 7 or 8 miles from the summit, there will be a pilot car. We're down to a single lane at that point. But a pilot car can get individuals to the summit starting on Monday. We certainly understand how important the ski area is to the local communities and to our economy. On the west side, and Julie, by the way, will talk more about this and talk it through in more detail. On the west side, that's going to take a bit more time. So we're currently continuing to clear significant debris. There's a bridge, Mayor will chat about this, it's a short distance east of Skycomish that has significant challenges. So inspections have been going on there for some time and are continuing to go on. Our team is conducting that detailed inspection to determine if it's going to be safe for travel or if repairs will be needed. Our plan is to report back to the public on that side of the access to Stevens Pass on Tuesday. In fact, we're going to be in Skycomish. The mayor is graciously hosting us on Tuesday. I think we're going to be having a gathering there at 10 a.m. To provide update to the community and to hear from the community, obviously, on the impacts that they're experiencing. But our goal is to be able to announce on Tuesday morning when we can reopen access to Stevens Pass. But that is totally dependent. I just want to underline this and underscore this, what the evaluation is from the experts, the crew that's out there examining this bridge that's a short distance east of Skycomish. That's totally what depends on this. So more to come on that. I want to thank both mayors who have joined today. I had a chance to talk with Mayor Flory of Leavenworth, who I think we're going to hear from him shortly. And obviously it's exciting news for Leavenworth to get access going up to Stevens Pass. It's great news, obviously, for the ski resort. And we're mindful that for Skycomish, we're not there yet, but we have our fingers crossed. And just want to say how much I appreciate, especially during the holidays, there are an awful lot of workers out there working extremely hard to do everything we can to get what we can opened to connect our state and to get access up to the ski resort and connect our community. So I just deeply, deeply appreciate all the hard work that folks are doing during challenging circumstances and also during the holidays. So with that, I'm going to turn to Julie, who's going to be next. Thank you so much.
Hello, my name is Julie Meredith, and I'm the Secretary of Transportation for the Washington State DOT. As we experienced this last month, significant atmospheric rivers with widespread flooding, landslides, levee breaches, and significant damage to our transportation system. Our WashDOT crews have been working through the storm and continue to work around the clock to restore our highways and our bridges. Reopening a road is not just about clearing what you can see. After storms like these, the greatest dangers are often the hidden ones. Washed out roadbeds, unstable slopes, undermined bridges, and saturated soils. Every decision our department makes to whether reopen a road or not is grounded in safety for the public first. We know these closures can be frustrating, especially during the holiday and ski season, but reopening a road fully requires that we access it for safety and not take a risk as we open it up to the public. To date, washouts opened more than 90 roads that have been damaged through this storm section, and we've executed multiple emergency contracts to clear debris and begin repairs. At some locations, we've addressed quickly, and others, as the governor pointed out, require more time and more intensive work. As of today, there are about 8 sections of highway that remain closed, including US 2, and this changes, the openings and closings change every day as we continue to work. On the east side of US 2, I'm going to expand on what the governor talked about. We will be able to open up US 2 between Coles Corner and Stevens Pass next week. And I just want to emphasize that this is a limited reopening. Beginning Monday, December 29th, with the pilot car operations from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., so primarily the daylight hours, this access will continue. This will allow us to restore access to the Stevens Pass ski area from the east side, similar to accesses we've opened up at Mount Baker and Crystal Mountain. We expect this pilot car operation to remain in place for about a month until we can safely open one lane in each direction. So still not full capacity, but increased capacity. And I would be remiss if I didn't call out that US 2 will remain an active construction zone. Safety for our crews, contractors, and the drivers is critical. Drivers should follow the posted speed limit and the pilot car. Adjust your speeds accordingly. Adjust your following distance as necessary. Expect delays and plan that extra travel time. And this is winter, so be winter ready with a full tank of gas and your emergency kits. It is winter. I just want to stress that. This pilot car operation is weather dependent, and winter conditions may still require US 2 to close due to snow, avalanche, and spin-outs, things that normally happen on these roads in the wintertime. US 2 should not be considered a cross-state route at this time. Travelers should continue using I-90 or US 12 for east-west travel until conditions allow permanent paving, likely not till the spring or summer. Tumwater Canyon, if I could just talk a bit about Tumwater Canyon. There was significant damage through Tumwater Canyon near Leavenworth, where multiple locations experienced shoulder failure, guardrail damage, or roadway washouts where the roadway was washed away through the river. Once the river level drops through the canyon, contractors will begin stabilizing the slopes and repairing the roadway. At this time, we anticipate reopening Tumwater Canyon section mid to late March with at least one lane in each direction. Until that time, the detour around this closed section via Chum 6 Highway and SR 207, which is approximately 22 miles, and it will add an estimated 20 minutes of travel time each way. We ask that people traveling this route be alert, drive undistracted, and drive for the conditions that you experience on the highway. Be prepared for this additional delay. We know how important US 2 is to the communities, the businesses, and the travelers, and we are working to restore access as quickly and as safely as possible. Now, if we could turn to the west side. As of today, the highway remains closed at milepost 54, just outside Skycomish. At this location, we have a bridge that we've been removing many, many feet of debris above the roadway, and we're still working to remove the debris below the roadway. We're also working to remove the debris further east of that bridge and inspecting all the drainage systems along there that have been damaged. Debris removal is ongoing. We're sending our bridge inspectors out. Once they can complete a full inspection of that bridge and determine what damage is there, we will report what the next steps will be. And as the governor said, we expect to report out next week on Tuesday what the bridge inspections have found. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Sheila. So, Jim, do we have, I think we have the mayor of Leavenworth that hopefully we've tested this, hopefully this works, and Mayor Harrison, if you can, go right ahead.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, Governor and Jill. That was, we appreciate the efforts. I got to say, as Christmastown, USA, I don't have to say how devastating it's been. You know that and are aware. And what I do appreciate is that you're taking it as the emergency that it is and throwing all the resources that you possibly can at it. So we do appreciate that. We appreciate the potential for this first step towards that restoration. We know it's going to be a long time coming. But as one who has responsibility for a community and a town, I know how important safety is, that all you do has to be guided by that. And so I do appreciate that you're not just rushing, but you're doing it in a safe way. And I can appreciate that. Sometimes I get blamed for things we do here with all of our crowds when I'm taking safety into account. And that's just part of that we have to live with and work towards. So again, I just want to thank you for the efforts. It's been devastating, but we're just thankful that we've got your cooperation to move us forward.
Busy. If you're able to hold on, there might be questions for you, I'm not sure, from the press. So if you don't mind holding on, if you can't, we understand. And if there are questions, I'll repeat it so you can hear it. So thank you so much, and appreciate your understanding all the work you're doing in Leavenworth. And now we have Mayor Sladek from Skykomish, who's going to chat about his side of the closure. Mayor.
Great. Thank you. Great. Thanks, Governor, and thanks for giving us the chance to get together today and hear what progress has been made. We understand as well that this was a huge event and sort of unprecedented. I've lived in the area up there for over 20 years and haven't seen anything to that extent. So we often deal with highway closures on Highway 2 between Skykomish and Stevens Pass, or all the way to the east side, but this one with multiple washouts and problems has created, we understand the longer term problem and the difficulty in even just assessing and trying to figure out how long it's going to take. So today is a great first step. It's good news that folks can access the ski area from the east side, and then hopefully get better news or get at least better assessment about the west side. The ski area business is huge for us, for the whole Skykomish Valley, from Skykomish down through Gold Bar, Sultan, Monroe, all the way down the valley, Highway 2. And so once that can get reestablished, or at least have a better idea, that'll be helpful for our whole community. It's been difficult even just dealing with the flooding, with the folks in their homes and getting that cleared, and I think people understand that it's taken a while to get the assessments on the highway and get the roads back open. That's always the second most important thing for us, is dealing with the folks in the local community that might have damage and repairs to take care of. Fortunately, no one was injured in any of these events in our area. That was the first thing, and then having access through Highway 2, because it does open up the whole east side, not only the ski area, but we rely on all those folks going to Leavenworth and Chelan and up to Methow in the winter and summers as well. So it's huge access for outdoor recreation, as well as visitors. People go to the east side to visit family and friends, especially this time of year, and that's had a huge impact too. So again, we appreciate the progress that's been made, and look forward to when you come and visit Tuesday, and more of an assessment's made up at the washout at milepost 54, then hopefully we'll have a better idea how long that might take. So thanks again.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate it. Thanks so much, Mayor. And we are our plan is to go visit the site at the bridge with WashDOT and with the mayor, and looking forward to seeing in person. And again, we will definitely have an update one way or the other on Tuesday from Skykomish, and look forward to that. Thanks for hosting us. With that, we're happy to answer any questions. If there's a question for the mayor of Leavenworth, if he's still on, so we'll try and get that to him as well, but happy to answer any questions.
Governor, I'm curious about your all's collaboration with Stevens Pass. Obviously, we're not here to talk about that part, but there have been a lot of people frustrated about maybe not getting refunds for their passes and things like that. Obviously, this provides a new route for them to be able to actually get up there and ski, although it could take them a lot longer. Can you talk about the collaboration and kind of the conversations that have been happening with Vail Resorts and Stevens Pass?
Sure. Julie may want to just speak to that, because I know there's been a lot of conversation, but Julie, you want to go ahead?
As we work to put in the policies around the operation of the one-way pilot car, at least from the east side, they've been helpful to talk about what property, where we can queue people, how we can operate safely, how will we operate coming in and going out. So that's been really helpful. They've been challenged with this, and so they've been willing to work with us on a lot of things to get it to go safely. I really can't speak to the policy on their refunds or not, but I can say opening up will give an opportunity for all the skiers that they didn't have before.
Secretary, given that the pilot car wraps up at 6, has the resort agreed to end operations at like 3 for people to get back to the cars?
They have worked with us on the operations of their facility to work with our piloted cars, so that's been really helpful for that side.
So just to emphasize, there's close coordination obviously going on with the work that's being done, ski resort, mayors. I mean, there's a lot of conversation going on to make sure everybody knows what's going on and how we're going to do this. So that collaboration is certainly happening.
Can you get some more information on this bridge near Skykomish? Which bridge is it exactly? What are the concerns? Is it under risk of, having to be rebuilt, or is it a structural problem? Can you give us more details?
So it's about at milepost 54, just outside of Skykomish on the east side. And what happened is there was a debris pile of about 4 or 5 feet over the bridge that we had to excavate, remove, and then there was debris up under the bridge, and it's crammed up under the bridge. I mean, that's not a technical term, but it's stuffed up under there. The contractor's working to get it out. It's a little difficult given that it's under the bridge, so we want to get all that debris out so we can see the foundations, and we want to see the girders, what it's seated on. And then just upstream of that, there was debris and damage to the culverts and the drainage systems, so we want to make sure those drainage systems are functional and that the shoulder isn't, undermined. And so that's the work we've been doing. The contractor's still at it. We've had our bridge inspectors out there a couple times. They're going to continue to go out and make sure that they can see all they need to see. And the end result is, if the bridge is damaged, we'll need to fix it.
With the pilot car program, is this going to be limited capacity? Like, people have to make reservations if they're going to go through there?
There's no reservation. The question, just so folks can hear perhaps, is, hey, for this pilot car system for those last 7 to 8 miles on the way to the summit, is there a reservation system? No, there's no reservation system. But, that's a long stretch to have a pilot car for anyone who's been through that kind of experience. And so, back to Julie's point, folks have to be patient, but we understand even limited access, how important that is. Like we understand that very clearly, and so that's why we're making this decision as soon as we possibly can. But no, reservation won't be needed, but patience will be in order to reach the ski resort area.
And just to be clear, you have to take that pilot car option back as well.
Correct.
Is this going to be on some sort of timeline? Do people top of the hour, every half hour kind of thing? Do we know how often?
I don't think we'll check and get back to you with that level of detail. 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. It is one lane. So I was talking just confirmed with Julie before we walked in here. So it is down to one lane of traffic for those 7 or 8 miles leading up as you're going east to the summit. The last 7 to 8 miles is one lane. So you'll be waiting until the traffic coming the other way clears and opens you up. As you know, that's a long ways, but that work is going to be continuing, and it'll be a pilot car situation for about
30 days.
For about 30 days. So again, this will be. I think this is part we want to communicate is, we're not going from where we are to opening the highway in one step. That's just not the way this is going to work, right? But where we can open it up bit by bit, that's what we're going to do. Responsibly, safety for the workers, safety for the public, but we're not waiting around. We can open something up, we're going to open it even if it is limited.
Do we have a dollar amount on how much damage has been done to Route 2 yet?
Let's put it this way, when we haven't yet been able to dig out